Hey everyone, how are you all doing? Hope everyone is well. It's been really nice to see you guys on the davening on Zoom and those that were with me on the Google Meet for Korea yesterday. It was really cool to see you guys and hear you guys read. And Rabbi Sklar told me the same thing. He was really excited to see you. It worked really well and you did a great job with your Kriya. Well, today we're going to go further in Chumash. We're going to learn one new pasuk and do some work in our Chumash workbooks. But it's been a while since we learned Chumash, so I'm going to review a little bit what's going on in this parak at this point of the story of Avram. If you remember, Avram had a nephew whose name was Lot. And Avram and Lot both had a lot of belongings. And in this parak, it talks about how they both actually had a lot of animals. So many animals that there wasn't enough room for all their animals. And an argument began between the shepherds of Lot's animals and the shepherds of Avram's animals. And Avram was not one for fighting. And Avram says to Lot, hey, we're relatives. I love you. Let's not fight. And that brings us to Pasuk Test. In Pasuk Test, we're going to learn what Avram suggests to Lot in order that they should be able to get along. And in just a minute, I will sing and translate the Pasuk. But before I do that, I want to point out one very special prefix. We learned some basic prefixes, and then there was a special one we learned, which is the prefix Aleph. The prefix Aleph means I, as in I will. It goes before a verb. I will do this, I will go here, I will eat that, I will sing, I will walk, etc. In Hebrew, the prefix for that word is the Hebrew letter Aleph. And in this pasuk, we're going to see that 2 times. Let me move myself out of the way. There you go, Rabbi Hech. And let me get a drawing tool and I'll show you. We're going to see it twice. Right over here and on this word, and again on this word. There you go. Now, this word is ve'emina, which means and I will go to the right. So it has the prefix vav, which means and the prefix aleph, which means I will. And the same thing for this word, for va'asme'ila, which means and I will go to the left. The vav means and the prefix aleph, the letter aleph here means I will, as in I will go to the left. So pay attention to that as we read and translate the pasuk. Now here's what the pasuk is going to tell us. Avram says to Lot, the whole land is open in front of us. Please separate from me. And if you go to the left, I will go to the right. And if you go to the right, I will go to the left. We'll part ways. Now, Avram was such a kind person. He definitely was not being mean to his own nephew. But he said, it's so nice we need to separate from each other just in order that we should get along. People say in English, sometimes we're too close for comfort, etc. And that's what happens in Pasuk Test. So here's how we're going to do this Kita base. I'm going to sing a phrase, 1 or 2 or 3 words of the Chumash in Hebrew, and translate it into English. Then I'm going to pause. I'm going to be quiet. And you can sing along in your homes at your computer. And then I will continue. So I'll sing Hebrew and English. I'll stop for a few seconds so you can do it on your own. And then I'll continue. And we'll do the pasuk like this 2 times. So I hope you're all seeing the board. I hope you all can see this. And let's get started. I just want to get my mouse pointer here. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Halo chol haaretz, isn't the whole land? Lifanecha, before you. Hiparedna, please separate. May I lie from me. Im hasamol, if to the left. Ve'emina, and I will go to the right. Ve'im hayamin, and if to the right. Ve'asme'ila, and I will go to the left. Alrighty, let's do the pasuk one more time. Haloi chol haaretz, isn't the whole land? Lefanecha, before you. Hiparedna, please separate. May Allah from me. Im hasamol, if to the left. Ve'emina, and I will go to the right. Ve'im hayamin, and if to the right. Ve'asme'ila, and I will go to the left. Wonderful job, Kita Bays. You were singing it so loud and with such enthusiasm that not only was I able to hear it all the way from my house, it went back in time because when you're watching this, it's tomorrow. I mean, it's today, and I recorded it last night. But you did such a good job that you kind of traveled back in time, and I heard you reading it here in my house on, let's say, on Tuesday night. Yeah, haha. Okay, so that's that. That's the pasuk. Now, here's what we're going to do. I want you to take out your Chumash workbook, blow off the dust. It's been a while since we used this, and open it up. And we're going to go to page 170. Okay, page 170. It looks like this. And I have a picture that I'm going to pull up. Remember, you're looking for page 170. And here, this is what it looks like. Okay, I'm going to wait another 10 seconds to let people get it. If you're having trouble finding it, you can pause the video and find it. Hang on just a minute. Let me make sure I'm recording still. Yes, I am still recording. Okay, here goes here. Where'd it go? Okay, so here are the instructions. If you know what to do, you can just start right away. But if you need the instructions, please follow along as I explain it. Now, remember, we were in the middle of a conversation between Avram and Lot. Avram is talking to Lot. So, step number 1, over here, underline all the words that Avram is saying. Which words in this pasuk are the words that Avram is saying? Now, I'm not going to tell you the answer, but it could be one word, it could be a few words, it could be all the words, it could be most of the words. Instruction number 1, underline all the words that Avram is saying. Now, if you're not sure, you could rewind. Well, they don't rewind anymore, but you could go back on this video and listen to my recording of it again. Just go back a little bit on this video, and as I'm teaching the pasuk, you'll be able to find the answer. Which words are the words that Avram is saying? When you think you know that, underline all those words. Step number 2, draw a box around the letters that translate I will. Now let's pay attention to the instructions. You're going to be drawing a box. not underlining, not circling, but a box like this. You see, there's a box around the word box. So you're going to draw a box around the letters that translate I will. In other words, you need to find the prefix. There is a prefix in this pasuk that means I will. And we spoke about this before we started translating the pasuk. There's a special prefix. I want you to look through the Hebrew here, look through these 4 lines of the pasuk, and find the prefix that means I will. Now remember, it may not be the first letter of a word. It could be the second or sometimes the third letter. So that's step number 2. Now, step number 3, circle all the words that have the translation right. In other words, Kitebes, which words in this pasuk mean right? As in my right hand, like for Shema, right versus left. Yeah, I don't know if you could see, but the direction right. Which words in this pasuk mean right? And again, if you're not sure, go back to the earlier in this video where I was singing and translating, and you can do that. Now, I'm actually going to show you something else that can help you a bit more. Let me find it. Yeah, you can go back 1 page to page number 169, I think. Yes. If you're not sure of the answers to these questions, go back 1 page to page 169, and there you have the whole translation of the Hebrew and the English. Actually, you can do that anytime. You don't need to go back to my recordings. You have it all here, page 169, and you can find the answers to the questions. All right, Kitebes, if you have any questions, your parents can send me an email. They can comment on the Class Dojo. I